Bom dia, bom dia. Olá pessoal, how are you? Como estão? I'm Karolinti from Karolinti.com and this is European Portuguese lesson. There are many films about differences between Portuguese from Portugal and Portuguese from Brazil, but even so, it's a still hot topic even among my students. That's why I would like to show you today some differences, basic differences between those two versions of Portuguese language. Are you curious? Fiquem comigo! These basic differences between Portuguese from Portugal and Portuguese from Brazil I would like to show you in three aspects. 1. In grammar, 2. in vocabulary, and 3. the most interesting part, in pronunciation. At the end of this episode, I have a secret to reveal, so stay tuned. To fully register differences between Portuguese from Portugal and Portuguese from Brazil, I ask my alter ego, Bom dia, sou a Maria e sou brasileira, to present with me those differences. 1. Grammar, basic grammar difference between Portuguese from Portugal and Portuguese from Brazil, you can observe in the present tense, presente perifrástico. This is a tense that we use at the moment of speaking, and its structure in European Portuguese looks like this. Verb estar, of course conjugated to chosen personal pronoun, then preposition a and infinitive verb. So altogether is verb estar, preposition a and infinitive verb. For example, neste momento eu estou a trabalhar. Neste momento eu estou a trabalhar. By the way, if you want to repeat about verb estar and preposition a, links to those lessons I leave you now here and of course in the description box below. Whereas structure of this present tense in Portuguese from Brazil presents as follows. There is still verb estar, conjugated to chosen personal pronoun, but there is no preposition a and there is no infinitive whatsoever. What is then? It's present participle. Present participle is in English verbs with ing ending. To make present participle from regular verb with ar ending, you just have to cut ar ending and add ando ending. Trabalhar, trabalhando. Trabalhar, trabalhando. So altogether we've got estou trabalhando. Let's go back to European Portuguese example. Estou a trabalhar. Estou a trabalhar. Estou trabalhando. Estou trabalhando. To make present participle from the regular verb with er ending, of course we have to cut er ending and add endo ending. For example, comer, comendo. Comer, comendo. Ele está comendo. Ele está comendo. Ele está a comer. Ele está a comer. And the last group, regular verbs with ir ending. To make present participle from this group, we just cut ir ending and add indo ending. For example, abrir, abrindo. Abrir, abrindo. Eles estão abrindo a janela. Eles estão abrindo a janela. Eles estão a abrir a janela. Eles estão a abrir a janela. As you have noticed, all of this sentence in Portuguese from Portugal and in Portuguese from Brazil mean exactly the same. 2. Basic differences in vocabulary. There are some words, some nouns and verbs that in two variants of Portuguese language mean the same, but have totally different words for it. For example, olá, olá, oi, oi. Pequeno almoço, pequeno almoço. Café de manhã, café de manhã. Casa de banho, casa de banho. Banheiro, banheiro. Gelado, gelado. Sorvete, sorvete. comboio, comboio, trem, trem. Elétrico, elétrico. Bonde, bonde. Autocarro, autocarro. Ônibus, ônibus. Telemóvel, telemóvel. Celular, celular. And there are the same words in Portuguese from Portugal and in Portuguese from Brazil that have completely different meaning. For example, rapariga. In Portugal, rapariga means a girl. In Brazil, rapariga means a prostitute. Broche. In Portugal, broche means an oral sex. In Brazil, broche means a pin, a brooch. Durex. In Portugal, Durex is a brand of company making condoms. In Brazil, Durex means a duct tape. Gente. In Portugal, gente means people. In Brazil, gente means not only people, but it means we. This example shows that you have to mind your words because you can get easily into troubles whether you are in Brazil or in Portugal. 3. Different pronunciation. The main pronunciation difference between Portuguese from Portugal and Portuguese from Brazil is pronunciation of the ending or of preposition de. As you know, in Portuguese from Portugal, the ending should be pronounced very delicate, as if at the end of the word you have a letter between e and y, de. For example, universidade, universidade. Whereas in Portuguese from Brazil, the ending sounds like G. For example, universidade, universidade. More examples? Okay. Gosto muito de bacalhau. Gosto muito de bacalhau. Gosto muito de bacalhau. Gosto muito de bacalhau. Qual é a sua idade? 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 Another pronunciation difference between Portuguese from Portugal and Portuguese from Brazil is t ending. In European Portuguese, t should be pronounced very delicate, as if at the end of the word you have a letter between e and y. For example, elefante, elefante. In Portuguese from Brazil, t ending sounds like chi. For example, elefante, elefante. More examples? Está bem. All right. Estudante, estudante. Estudante, estudante. Passaporte, passaporte. Passaporte, passaporte. There is also a difference between pronunciation of letter R. When we've got the letter R at the beginning of the word in European Portuguese, it should sound like this. It's a sound between letter R and H. For example, restaurante, restaurante. Whereas in Portuguese from Brazil, letter R sounds more like R. For example, restaurante, restaurante. The last basic pronunciation difference between Portuguese from Portugal and Portuguese from Brazil is pronunciation of letter S. When we've got in European Portuguese letter S situated just before consonants like D, T or P, it sounds like sh. For example, gosto muito de bacalhau. Gosto muito de bacalhau. Whereas in Portuguese from Brazil, letter S has more S sound. For example, gosto muito de bacalhau. Gosto muito de bacalhau. O Paulo é solteiro e mora em Lisboa. É médico e trabalha num hospital. Ele gosta de chocolate, Ao domingo estuda inglês e japonês. O Paulo é solteiro e mora em Lisboa. É médico e trabalha num hospital. Ele gosta de chocolate. Ao domingo estuda inglês e japonês. And now the secret. I will give you an answer to those questions. Do Brazilians understand Portuguese people? And do Portuguese people understand Brazilians? Compreendemos. Compreendemos. Yes and yes. Of course, for both parties, language will sound a bit off, but eventually they will understand each other. That's all for today. Thank you for watching till the end of this episode. Let me know in the comments which variant of Portuguese you like the best and why. Is it Portuguese from Portugal or Portuguese from Brazil? Special thanks go to my patron Arthur and to Robert for your last donation. I really appreciate your gestures. Don't forget also to leave your thumbs up, share and subscribe. Take care and I see you soon. Até já!